For the last few days, people on social media have really been freaking out about the new ChatGPT update that can apparently imitate Studio Ghibli art. Like you put a photo in and it gives you something back that kind of looks like Studio Ghibli, kind of looks like something Miyazaki would have made. What's so weird about this is that, I mean, anytime there's like a new generative AI tool that comes out, there's this whole outrage cycle that we go through on social media where people debate the merits of art and craft and what's the future of, animation or film. But then it kind of goes away. That's what I think is the most instructive aspect about all of this is the fact that, I mean, I wish I would have made this video like 2 days ago because that's how long the whole cycle lasted. That's how long everybody wanted to make Studio Ghibli art. And now it's kind of gone. Contrast that with the fact that the movies we all love, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, those have been around for decades. And they endure because that's actual art. Those are things of actual value as opposed to something you just post on social media once and get some likes from. That's why I really feel like there is so much wasted energy on terms of just hand-wringing about the implications of AI. There is nothing about this tool that threatens or diminishes what Miyazaki did or can do in the future. I mean, I think we really got to just get back to basics in terms of what it is we're talking about when it comes to art and where the value lies. Studio Ghibli doesn't make still images. Miyazaki, I mean, like he designs all the characters or whatever. He oversees the process. But the reason we all love those movies is because they're movies. It's because they're stories and there's emotion and, craft involved. There is an established Studio Ghibli aesthetic, which comes from Miyazaki, from his, his oversight. But, I mean, the art serves the storytelling, not the other way around. And it's not like, the reason why Miyazaki is considered a genius is because it's not because he didn't draw all those movies himself. I mean, he's not like, he had the initial idea. That's his contribution to it. He has the vision of what the story is he wants to tell. And that vision, I mean, like people don't consider that to be a technical skill in the way that the artwork is a technical skill, but that is the most important part of the whole thing. That's the reason why it's Studio Ghibli, and the reason why other people can't do that. He has a team of, I don't know, dozens, 100 people working for him who are helping him fulfill his vision. So it's not like this new generative AI thing is not going to replace that. That's the thing that's the value, is having the idea. So, I mean, like generative AI can't give you the idea. It can't give you a feeling to express. Art is not just a thing that you look at. It's not just a thing to fill a page. It has to have intent. It has inspiration and a story behind it. I think part of this comes down to the way that people think about art and film in particular on social media. The big thing on Twitter, especially when it comes to talking about movies, is people will post about a movie and then they'll show you like 4 still images. That's how the post is formatted. And those images kind of like evoke the cinematography. And here's the beauty of the film. When you get used to thinking about film in that way and in the, letterboxed way, you forget what the film actually is, which is motion. It's a motion picture with acting and tension and a story. That gets flattened into 4 pictures. That's what the problem is with this new ChatGPT update, is people are mistaking this for actual storytelling. And that's not what this is. This is just pictures. That's why everybody who was doing this has already kind of moved on, because there was no actual heart to it. You weren't actually saying anything. It was just like It's basically like a Snapchat filter. That's the depth of it. And that's how long it actually lasted. People talk about generative AI, it's always as like a threat to working artists or something. I don't see how this is a threat at all to any working artist. The only person I could maybe see this being a problem for is like fan art. People who like make, Totoro fan art and sell it on Etsy. It's like, yeah, maybe you're in trouble. That's a problem for you because now anybody else can just do that. Or if you were like accepting commissions, somebody's anniversary, and it's you, they want you to draw them and their dog on like a cat, that kind of thing, which is like, all right, I'll give you that. But I don't think any of us confuse that with real artwork. That's just selling t-shirts. That's all this is. If you are into generating, Studio Ghibli art, that is basically your relation to the art itself. It's like buying a t-shirt. That's exactly as creative as that. Is, hey, you saw a t-shirt at the mall. Let me buy that and take it home. What's so frustrating, though, about generative AI and overall the conversation surrounding it is that it has to take on the same tone as other kind of tech hype. Everything is always telling you what's going to happen down the line. And hey, the product's not done, but here's the implication of it. Here's where we're definitely going with it. That's why, I saw people are already trying to use this new Studio Ghibli filter thing to make their own little versions of movie trailers mostly. And somebody went through the process of, I'm guessing they just fed an entire Lord of the Rings trailer into ChatGPT and it somehow spat this thing back. But you can see the direction it's going just based on what it is people are actually using it for. All we ever get from any of this stuff when it comes to video generation, it's always a proof of concept. It's never an actual film. It's never something that actually has value in terms of story. It doesn't have a feeling to it. It's an imitation of another thing. We're using the reference of Studio Ghibli to reference Lord of the Rings. It's a double reference. There is nothing of you that's in there in that equation. There's nothing new that's being expressed. And that's what the whole point of all this is supposed to be inspiration. That's the only reason anybody would actually want to watch something. Is there a story? Is somebody telling you something here? Or are they just showing you what the computer is capable of? The people who really get the most offended by all this, and I understand why it can be jarring because these technologies do kind of sneak up on you. But the people who end up getting the most up in arms about it are people who want to be artists, but don't actually make art. Because if you make art, this isn't threatening to you. Art is about expressing yourself. There's nothing about the ChatGPT update that's going to replace that. The other problem with the internet, particularly when it comes to YouTube, is that the only way people can consider art on YouTube is through tutorials. And tutorials teach you technique. The internet is obsessed with technique. They always want to know what pen you used. What program are you using? What plugins do you have? You see this especially with music. People always want to tell you, oh, what's the secret chord you got to play? Oh, here's a secret 9th, 11th flat chord that only these people know. This is going to unlock everything for you. Oh, what's the best compressor plugin? That's what's going to unlock music for you. The one thing they can't teach you is feeling. They can't give you inspiration. They can't give you something to say, which is the most crucial aspect of all of this, is having something to say. So if you are worried about AI taking your job, then you weren't really making art. All you had was technical skills that you were trying to gatekeep. It's basically rent seeking. You tried to claim your own little plot of land and nobody else can do this. But it's like, no, of course somebody else can do that. Your only contribution to it was taking a bunch of time to do something that somebody else can do. It's like, no, if anything, this should push you to be more creative. Now you got to make something that the computer can't make. And if you really take a second and think about it, you definitely have something that's not the computer. That's the whole point of being an artist, is what do you have to say? But I can understand why these people who freak out about AI, I can see what they're mad about, because the AI boosters, the hype guys, the Sam Altman, Elon Musk types, it is obnoxious because you can see the ego behind it. They all are so self-satisfied about, oh, your job's going to get taken. Oh, pretty soon in the future, we're not going to need you. And I can see why that rubs you the wrong way. Rubs me the wrong way too. But to any of those guys, if you're watching this and you are truly a believer in generative AI, make something. Let's see it. If you say you can make Studio Ghibli films, you can make something like Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, do it. Let's see it. Just doesn't have to be the full thing. Just show me some. Tell a story that's you, and then maybe I'll believe it. But until then, all you're doing is posting on social media. That's all this is.